What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916. You tuned into another edition of my vlog. Hopefully, you subscribe to the channel. It's all about positivity, motivation, sharing my life experience, throwing out some good vibes into the world, and hopefully landing on the right people who can also absorb the positive energy. Um, I want to talk about in this video about we're not all on the same path. And I don't say that to be negative, but everybody's on a different path in life, and there's a lot of people out there who share videos, whether it be car videos, whether it be tech videos, cooking videos, motivational videos, um, you know, uh, prank videos, but video game videos. But everybody's on a different path, man. And no one path is perfect, or for everybody. And perfect is all in the eye of the beholder, because you could do things and, you know, before you get to perfection on anything, you have to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. Whether it's being a trader on Wall Street, uh, Bitcoin trader, or car buyer and seller, or real estate flipper. You don't just walk into something like that and automatically go to the top. Um, some people may be more fortunate to where their families maybe left them a business, but others, have to grind their way up. And it's a live and learn thing, man. A lot of wealth is, fourth, fifth generation. You know, um, they had a lot of time to work out the kinks. And then, in today's day and age, because of just the way things work instantly, you have a lot of first generation millionaires and successful people who have been able to monetize various platforms, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, you know, um, in some of the podcast stations. There's just so many different things, music, that people have been able to really make a lot of money in a short period of time. Where, back in the day, you had to be damn near retired before maybe you seen your riches. Now you can get that shit at an early age. You got young kids doing fucking toy unveiling videos, and they're balling. You know what I mean? They're making $250,000 a year. So the game has really changed, man. But we're not all on the same path, and you want to surround yourself around people that are on a similar path. And if you're on a path of enlightenment, you're on a path of positivity, you're on a path of growth, you're on a path of wealth, you're on a path of prosperity, you're on a path of happiness, then you're on the same path I'm on. That's what I'm on. But and it could be any genre of economics. You could be, like I said, you could be a movie mogul, you could be an actor, you can be a fitness guy, whatever. But if you're on a path and we have some common interests, and that path is a positive path, then I can relate to you. I can relate to what you've been through to get to where you're at. I can relate to the things you want to accomplish. If you went through adversity, if you're an ex-felon, I can relate to that, and you're doing positivity things now. It's just, everybody's just at a different level as far as wherever that path may take them. Some people are at a path, where they're cool with just where they're at as long as they're maintaining, and others are trying to elevate above and beyond. I put a lot of pressure on myself to do certain things a certain way and to get to a certain level. And just me, man. I work under pressure, man. I get up every morning, ride my stationary bike, then go to the gym, and then do more cardio, and work on my computer, work on my business with my wife, you know, do some car stuff, film, get out some sales of my books. I'm just always grinding, you know, and I'm always trying to further my ideas and my vision so that I can go above and beyond, because I don't have nobody giving me a silver spoon, or I don't have a handout. I know I got to make what I want in life. You know, I got to create my own path, my own platform. And once again, I always say that, you know, I'm not trying to say my path is better than your path. I'm not saying your path is any less than my path, but to each his own, you know, and you can't knock the next man, and I can't knock the next man, you know. And you know, if you got somebody that drives a Lamborghini and you see them having big money and it looks like they're living a life, well, be happy for that person. Don't be mad at them. Don't want to harm them or hurt them, because that's not good karma for you. You know, it's not good energy for you to wish bad upon anybody. You know, if you see somebody doing well, you should actually be inspired by that person. You know, hopefully that person's humble. You know, sometimes they're not humble. Sometimes they're douchebags. But, you know, hopefully that person with the Lamborghini or McLaren or Ferrari or Porsche, hopefully they're humble and they'll talk to you and share how they got to where they're at. Because if you're curious, you're inquisitive, people should be willing to share with you, you know, especially if you're trying to figure out your own path. I know I'm always asking questions, and I don't have all the answers. And maybe if I asked more questions in life, I could have got a lot further a lot sooner, and maybe I wouldn't have made the mistakes I've made. So I always try to tell young people, ask questions, don't be intimidated, and hopefully the people that you ask those questions will be open to sharing with you. But you know, we're not all on the same path. Some people are on a path where, you know, like I said, they don't want you to elevate above and beyond what they're doing, so they try to, you know, say harmful things via message on Instagram or YouTube comment or what have you. You know, those are just people who just, you know, they have nothing really good to say about anybody. They probably say bad things about their own kids, you know. The wife they sleep with or girlfriend, they talk about her behind her back, you know. Say she stank or the sex ain't all that good, you know. And then when they see her, they laugh and smile and stuff. And, you know, they're just horrible people, man, you know. And one of the ways you can spot people who aren't on your path but who try to act like they're on your path, you know, the deceptive ones, you know, they call them Decepticons in the Transformer world, is when you're out with these people and you see things that are beautiful, you know, things that are nice, whether it's you go by a department store and you look in the window, in the display window, you see something that's like pretty cool, maybe an outfit or some shoes, and maybe they're not for you, you know, so you're like, oh, those aren't for me, but they're like, oh man, I would never wear those. Oh, they're so ugly. Okay, I wouldn't wear them either, but you know, somebody designed them and somebody had enough faith in the person that designed them to actually manufacture them and put them in this window. Or if somebody sees a nice car and it's got like a certain rim on it or body kit, oh, look at the way they did that. I wouldn't have done it like that. I wouldn't even, that color is so ugly, I wouldn't have painted my car the color. Well, look, you can't afford the car. You wouldn't have bought the car even because you don't have the money to buy the car. So for you to say that it's not your color, well, it's not your price point. So, you know, people say stuff, man, you got to just really listen and kind of like, you know, listen to see if this person ever compliments anything. Do they ever say, oh man, she's pretty. Oh, she's got a fake ass. Look like she had a boob job. Look at her lips. Too much Botox. And you're like, damn, man. I mean, okay, she got her butt done up, you know, and yeah, she did get a boob job, but you know, she's pretty hot, man. She's cute. I mean, look at you, man. You're tore up. You know, your beard is raggedy. Your clothes is from like something they used to wear on the Cosby Show, and your shoes is busted. You know what I mean? And dude, your teeth ain't all that either. But I mean, I'm not pointing all these things out. So you gotta kind of, like I said, man, pay attention. When you look at these people, man, and you hear them talking all this stuff, you gotta really listen to see if they're on the same path. Because we're not all on the same path. And believe me, if that person says all these negative things about women and cars you look at, and clothing, and oh man, that house is just, why would you want to live in a house that big? It's too many bedrooms. I would hate to have to clean all those bathrooms, and who's gonna, heating that pool up is expensive. Man, that house is a nice house, man, and if you're in there, you're not even worried about that stuff. So why would you even bring that up? But like I said, that person, if he says all these different things, or if she says all these different things, or anything similar, watch out. They're not on your same path. They've infiltrated your path to destroy it. They're Decepticons infiltrated to destroy your path and your dreams. So you're not all on the same path. And just be conscious of it. Listen, listen to see if that person ever compliments you. Hey man, you look like you lost some weight. Man, you've been working out, or, oh man, I heard how's your car project coming along? Or I heard you were moving, man. So where'd you move to, man? Nice house, man. Very nice house, man. You're decorated nice. Or, the flip side would be, oh man, did you have you gained a few pounds? You're looking a little chubby in the face, man. Oh man, that last video, you were dark, man. The lighting, you got to work on your lighting on your videos. Oh, did you move to a new place? How much you paying for rent over there? Oh man, I would never pay that for rent. Oh man, that's absurd. They're a hater, and they're not on your path, and they're Decepticon. So watch out, man. Listen to the comments. Listen to little idiosyncrasies and get away from them, because they're pulling you in the opposite polarity, so you can't grow. You gotta get away from them, But these are things that, I've studied and I've tried to perfect, and I haven't always been able to catch them soon enough, I made one detrimental mistake, man. I remember when I had this guy who was a mechanic working on my car, and I had spent already with him probably over $100 grand just on miscellaneous cars, fixing them up to flip and doing all this stuff, and brought him a lot of business. And I had just purchased this one car, and I made it a point not to drive it over to a shop, because I don't want to be hating. And the other car that I used to drive, I think it was getting oil change or something done to it. So I pulled up to a shop, and it wasn't nothing way out. 94 NSX, And when he walked out the shop, he looked at it, and I seen it, man. I'm like, oh man, I seen it, but then I was thinking, oh, maybe I didn't see it, but I did see it. He kind of like had a look, and he's like, man, this used to be my favorite car, man. And he's like, man, and he kind of looked at the car like, why you get the car? What are you doing driving it? And, I'm like, oh man, I just, I picked this up. I made payments on it. I finally paid it off, because I work hard for my cars. I mean? I'm not fucking, just to the point where I can just go and just, oh man, I'm gonna dump like, 6 figures on a car. I usually fix my cars up little by little, but I work hard to fix my cars up. So this car, I had just, paid it off, brought it up, drove it, and he looked at it. And the cool thing about it is that I was still bringing this guy a lot of work, and I had a Porsche 928 I was working on, and later on I brought the car to him, and I gave him like close to 20 G's cash. It might have been 20 G's cash, man, to just knock the car out. And I brought him the motor. I had a brand new 350 Chevy block. I'm doing the whole conversion, and I brought him the motor with the car. And basically, I wanted the motor built up. Want to make like some crazy horsepower, customness. I had bought some sway bars, some new coilovers, all this shit, right? And he was gonna knock the car out. That's the whole purpose for me giving him the money up front and the car, to get it done. Well, I brought the car. He took the motor to somebody to get it built, right? And I'm thinking, oh, the car be done in like 6 months, you know, because it's like, fuck, I already paid for everything. There's nothing, I don't owe anything. I had enough. If I had known what I know now, I could have took it to any shop and probably dropped a crate motor in there and been done with it in like a month or two. But this is a guy that I thought was my friend, you know, and I brought him the motor with the car, like I said, and a lot of parts, another $5 grand worth of parts, and the car sat there. And the car sat there. I would check on it, go by there every other week, you know, and I seen another person I had brought in business. He was working on their car. And I kept looking. I'm like, you know, what's going on with my car? Oh, the motor guy, I'm waiting on him. I'm waiting on him. I'm waiting on him. So I, you know, keep checking back, keep checking back. He mentions in one time that, oh man, you know, I might need some more money. I'm like, nah, you're not more money, bro. I gave you 20 racks. And this is a major wig split, man. Major wig split situation. So I keep going back and forth. And I don't really know the guy who's building the motor, so I can't reach out to him. But he's blaming it on the other guy. He's like, I'm gonna go over here and smash on this guy. I gave him the money. He's not doing what he's supposed to. Well, come to find out, you know, and this is like, mind you, I went to this guy's wedding. I gave him money at his wedding. You know, all this stuff, man. In between the time he had my car and he was building it, so I'm quite sure the money went to paying for the wedding because it was it was cash. And I heard through the landlord who was next door that the shop, he hadn't made payments in like 4 or 5 months, so they were going to actually shut down the shop. So I'm like, what the? You know, I contacted the guy. Oh man, they can't do that. That guy, they trying to kick me out of here, blah, 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 blah. Well, it was all bullshit. It was going to be shut down, and luckily I heard. So I had at the time 2 Porsches over there, actually three Porsches over there, and I had to get them all out of there. So I told him, I said, I'm just going to pull my cars out of there, you know. And I said, I need my motor back. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go over there, man. This guy, I told him, man, just get my motor, man. You know, and I'm telling you, man, it took everything in my power, man, not to just split his wig right then, man, because I knew this guy was a cold hater, not on my same path. I thought he was, and I had brought him a lot of money, man, and he still was a piece of shit. Piece of shit, man. If you're watching, you're a piece of shit. Anyways, I rented a tow truck, moved one car out of there one day, towed another car out of there another day with the motor, and got the third car out of there. Had to have all 3 cars. Basically, one of the cars completed by somebody. The other car I'm still working on because I ran into another piece of shit after that, and then the other car I ended up selling. But the guy, after I found out, after the shop had been closed down, I was able to track down the engine builder. He told me that the guy still owed him money, so the whole time the guy was lying. And, it just, like I said, man, you got to really watch out for the people who you think that are on the same path, because a lot of them aren't. And the whole mechanic situation is an example that can cross over to anything else. Whether somebody comes to your new house, somebody sees you got married, somebody sees you bought, the new Balenciagas or the new Louis bag or new Supreme bag, it could be any one of those things that triggers it, and it just triggers a whole flip, and that flip could be very detrimental. It cost me over $20,000. The flip move. Me pulling up in that, wasn't no fucking hypercar or nothing like that. But me pulling up in that car caused this person, which I think it was already maybe some other shit going on, but this person, he just flipped the script. And I should have seen it before. I wish I would have knew somebody else at the time. I would have took my build to them and had the car and been driving it right now and probably had it at SEMA, but I took a hit, man. And like I said, you got to be careful when you see that gloss over glare in their eyes or that stutter in their voice. Realize they're not on your same path. and they deceived you by infiltrating what you thought was your same path. So just watch out, man, and be conscious of it. I try to share these stories so that you don't get caught up like I did. And like I said, man, the spirit man has kept me humble, and I realized that it's part of growing pains, and I didn't allow this to ruin me. But it can hurt you, man. So be careful. Big Herc 916.